Okay, how's the are you guys getting anything now? Can you hear anything yet? Still can't hear me, huh? Let me see. Okay. One sec. Okay, let me see if that works. Okay, you can hear me now, right? All right, that fixed it. Awesome. Okay, what would it be? It wouldn't be a live stream if there wasn't problems right off the bat. So there you go. We got to start it off wrong. And one sec, I still need a couple more minutes just to kind of get everything sorted out for this. Again, it's a new laptop. It's got a smaller screen, so I'm trying to get everything kind of lined up right. So bear with me one second. Let's see. Okay, I think that's good now. Should be good enough. So, hey, welcome everybody. It's episode number 6. Who would have thought, right? So for everyone that's new to the stream, the way we usually do these is this is kind of just a chance for the Dark Deception community to ask me questions about Dark Deception or any of the game projects that we're working on or we're planning to work on in the future. So what I usually do is I take questions from our subscribers on YouTube. They send them in. I choose some of the good ones, and I answer them here during this live stream session. I'll also take questions from our YouTube members, and I usually will go with the member questions first. I answer those first, and then I'll go to Super Chats if anybody wants to support us during this live stream by making any amount. I mean, even a penny donation is something, right? Every penny counts. I will answer those questions as well, and then I'll go with our subscriber questions that were emailed in that we randomly chose from based on the strength of their questions. So to start things off, I'm just going to kick it straight to the member questions, and yeah, we'll start there. So our member questions this time, our first one, we're leading off with Wesley G. And Wesley asked, are you working on the raps? I guess he's talking about Dark Deception raps. For those of you who haven't seen Bad Rabbit yet. He said, are you working on the raps all at once or one at a time? Okay. So basically, we are working on the raps one at a time. Yeah, we're not doing those all together, and the reason for that is that we are using the actual voice actors for those raps. So, Chris J. Alex is doing Bad Rabbit and the Hangry Rap since he did the voice for those characters in Dark Deception. But Penny is going to be done by Tara Strong. So we try to record them separately, and writing the lyrics for each rap song takes time. So we do that separately. Question number 2 from Lise Loves Art. Will there be a model viewer for Dark Deception? I think I had that question previously. I swear I did. I could be wrong, but I'm going to answer that anyway. Yeah, we're definitely planning for a model viewer. I think probably in Chapter 5 we're going to throw that in, and that will let you actually go in and look at all the models in Dark Deception and see a little bit of kind of backstory and lore about each one. So it'll be kind of like a virtual archive, if you will, for all of the characters in the Dark Deception 1 story. Number 3 from Rock My Zombie. Will there be any new powers for the mortals introduced in Monsters and Mortals, or will there be just the main 6 from Dark Deception? Actually, that's a good question. I am actually planning to have powers that are exclusive to Monsters and Mortals that will be in the game for some of the mortals to use. And there will be characters that are exclusive to Monsters and Mortals as well. So yeah, there will be additional powers. Question number 4 from Curry Penguin. How close has... Oh, this is a Penn question, okay. How close has Penn come to S-ranking the levels for Chapter 4? I think Penn is busy working most of the time, so she doesn't really get to go for the S-ranks. Mostly that's Nixon and I that are testing the S-ranks out. But maybe we'll run her through the gauntlet at some point and make her S-rank, or try to S-rank all the levels. Maybe we'll live stream that. Who knows? We'll see. I'm sure she'll be happy to do it if I ask her. Question number 5 from Mr. Croaky. Are you going to announce Monster and Mortals release date? So yes, I had said that I was going to release or announce the release date for Monsters and Mortals in July, and I can safely say that Monsters and Mortals will be out by October 16th, 2020. So that is our planned release date for Monsters and Mortals this year. So you will definitely get to play Monsters and Mortals before Halloween. So there you go. That's an official release date. Nicosil, question number 6. Monsters and Mortals uses track... Sorry, let me reread this. Monsters and Mortals uses music tracks from Dark Deception. Yeah, so it's reusing all of the Dark Deception music tracks. So the Elementary Evil will have all of Agatha's music tracks, and the Gold Watchers stage will have all of the Gold Watcher music. And of course, the new characters will have their own new tracks. But all of the original Dark Deception characters will have, the music that they had in Dark Deception. It'll still be in there. So yes. Question number 7 from Captain America. Will some of the lines Lucky says in the Bad Rabbit rap be in the game? Example, I'm gaining on you, you better run, and you're in my game like an episode of Westworld, etc., etc. Maybe. Actually, yeah, I'm gaining on you. A lot of those clips, the audio clips that you heard in the Bad Rabbit track, were actually ripped straight out of the game. So yeah, you do hear some of those lines. I wouldn't say the Westworld one is. That's actually a kind of an improv lyric from Chris just for the rap. But the lines like, you better run, I'm gaining on you, those are straight from the game. So yeah, some of the Bad Rabbit lyrics will be in the game from Lucky. Number 8 from It's Sight Sun. Is there a possibility for Chapter 4 to come out before Penny's rap? No. It's definitely going to be after the 2 raps release. So yeah, that's the most I can say about that, because like I said, I'm not going to do official release dates, and I'm not going to narrow it down the window. But yeah, it's not going to be out before the 2 raps are out. And those are still coming, so yeah, don't worry about it. And question number 9 from Hasu. Will the Vanish power actually be like Vanish, like when you... Well, sorry, I'm trying to read this. Will Vanish power actually be like Vanish, while using it you can walk through enemies and stuff, or will it just turn the player invisible for monsters, but you could still die when you run into them? Or something completely different? Well, I won't go too much into it. I just will say that Vanish makes you vanish, so it is cloaking power. I will give away that much. But as far as the other stuff, you'll see when you play what it does. Question number 10 from Putin Pravoslavny. We know that you will release Joy Joy Gang as a plush toy next, after the Duckies. So what do you think about releasing Lucky in black and white as an extra toy? In the video Bad Rabbit, we saw Lucky in a discolored form, and I really liked it. Yeah, actually we've been discussing doing a Bad Rabbit version of Lucky as a plushie. Actually, all 3 Joy Joy Gang. So yeah, we're actually talking about doing that, having the discolored, I guess you could say black and white, kind of vintage looking, mugshot looking Joy Joy Gang plushies. So yeah, that's definitely something that we're talking about, and it's on the horizon. So you might see it soon. We'll see. It won't be the first one up. I'll put it that way. The normal Joy Joy Gang plushies will be up first. And from what I've seen, kind of being designed over at Makeshift, it's probably going to be the animatronic kind of damaged versions of them will be up first. Question number 11 from Warlocky. What happens during a typical recording session with a voice actor? Well, I mean, we have kind of two different processes. So there was one that was the pre-pandemic process, and now we have our post-pandemic process. So pre-pandemic, when everything was normal, it was pretty much, I was in LA, and I would go to the recording studio, which was, usually at first it was Bang Zoom, and then we were working with Formosa, and they're located in Burbank and Santa Monica, different places in LA. So we'd go into the studio, and the voice actor would come in, and we'd just do like a 4-hour session with them to record all the lines. And it's a great chance for us to kind of meet the voice actor and sit down in the room with them and hear everything go, so that we can give direct feedback and kind of direct things. Now we just kind of do everything online through a Skype call, because obviously we can't be present physically, and neither can they. So it's actually simplified things a lot, but it's not as I guess it's not as in my opinion, it's not as good, because I can't be like in the room with them. So it's a lot easier to work when you're actually in the room than trying to convey feedback and directions over a call. But it still works, so it's fine. We're still recording. I mean, we just did a recording. We recorded all of Chapter 4 during the pandemic, and we have some more stuff we're going to record for Chapter 5. So yeah, it's still working. Question number 12 from a happy clubber. We know that each shard is a soul shard that perished inside the nightmares. But what are the extra shards? I guess he means bonus shard. What are the stun orbs and enemy reveal shard? Are they also souls? So the soul, I guess, just to give a little bit of background, yeah, the stun orbs are not soul shards. Those are just a form of energy. Whereas the bonus shard is a collection of souls that have grouped into one larger shard. And that's why it's different from the singular soul shards that are just purple. And those are just individual souls. So yeah, you could say the bonus shard is a collection of souls. And that is why it gives you a number of souls when you collect them. Question number 13 from Themscope. Where did the inspiration of Doug Hauser come from? Doug Hauser is actually, well, I mean, everything I think that I design is inspired in some ways by real life experiences. I think pretty much every designer and concept artist or writer draws from their own personal life to kind of inspire them to create things. So I'd say Doug Hauser is kind of an inspiration. I'd say he's a collection of people that I've encountered and known throughout my life, some various traits of each one. You could even say that, I mean, Doug is he's had problems in his life. Everybody's had problems in their life. So I could even say like some parts of him are like a reflection of myself, but mostly it's people that I've known, and I've kind of heard their problems and their experiences, and it's kind of like my own fictional take on that. So I'd say like there's many inspirations for Doug that have come to form who he is. So I feel like he may seem kind of an overtop bad character, but a lot of his issues are actually based on real issues that exist in real people. So yeah, I think maybe you'll find out a lot more about him in Chapter 4 and 5. I'll let you guys kind of make up your own mind about him, whether he's good or bad. But we'll see a lot more soon. Question number 14 from Walilo. Yeah, I think I said that right. Is Dark Deception still coming to Xbox One? By the time the full game is out, the Xbox Project Scarlet might be released, so will it still come to Xbox One? Yeah, I mean, you could say the same thing for PlayStation 4. Even though PS5's pretty much coming this year, at the end of the year, still planning on PS4. I mean, there's a huge install base of PS4 owners. I own a PS4. I don't have an Xbox One, but we have an Xbox One dev kit. So we're definitely going to be making an Xbox One version, yeah. If we bring it to Xbox Scarlet or PS5, it may just be like an upgraded version. Like we can improve the texture size. Instead of using 2K textures, we can up-res it to like 4K or higher. It'll just be like a more polished version of it. Question number 15 from Glowstick Wolfina. Which soundtrack from Chapter 4 was your favorite? Favorite track from... I feel like I had that question before, but maybe I didn't. So I may contradict my previous answer if I've already answered that. But I would say now Patient Transfer and Deliverance are probably my favorite, just because I like how epic they sound. And yeah, those would probably be the two I like most from Chapter 4 so far. Although Closing Time would probably fit in there as well. Question number 16 from Drippies. Will there be an animation of the Joy Joy gang tripping over each other? Because that'd honestly be hilarious, seeing Lucky run into Hangry while chasing the player. That sounds... I don't know why that... Yeah, that's very slapstick. We don't have anything like that in the game, unfortunately. I can just say that right now. Like anything where they kind of like, stooge up and pile into each other. Like, kind of not watching where they're going. But we have other animations that are interesting. You'll see soon. So question number 17, moving on. Mama Bear X, where there'll be multiple matrons in the hospital level. Haha, she's trying to find out if it's a boss or if it's a normal enemy. So, I think I've already stated it once, is that the matron is a boss. So, I've already made that public once. And I'm not going to say what she looks like now or what she's going to be like or what her role beyond that is, but she will be the boss of the hospital level. Question number 18. So no, there will not be multiple matrons. Question number 18 from Davy Jones. Do Penny and Hangry have their army as well? I guess they mean because you see Lucky has a bunch of clones. Actually, all of the Joy Joy gang members have a lot of clones. It's not just Lucky. Question number 19 from Artemy. Which level in Chapter 4 was much harder to develop and why? I think that was something I answered before, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to answer it again, just to be safe, because I can't remember. See, I'm getting old. I can't remember which questions I've already answered and which ones I haven't. Yeah, I still think probably it was the Joy Joy gang level, just because of the mechanics that we use for Hangry and Lucky and Penny combined with the I guess the traps and hazards. It was just a bit more complex than the other enemies' AI. So I'd still say that's the hardest level that we worked on in Chapter 4 as far as just the AI is concerned and the scale of that level. Question 20 from Random Internet Stranger. In Barely Buried, who would you say is the main enemy? Mama Bear or her teddies? Both? They are equally weighted throughout the level, so it's not really one or the other. They appear together, and they fight together, so they're equal in the level. Okay, well that's it for our member questions. So now we are going to do Super Chats. So let me just pull those up. And we will go through those Super Chat questions. And remember, I will do my best to answer the Super Chat questions, as long as they are not blatant spoilers. But no matter what, I will thank you for your contribution, so you don't have to worry about that. So first up, we've got Andre Bodazan, and he donated 5 RON. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate it. He didn't ask any questions. He just made a contribution. So thank you. Jacko Trap Studios threw in $2 US. Will Chapter 4 be out in September? Whoops, sorry. One sec. Accidentally minimized my window. Will Chapter 4 be out in September like you said? I think he's referring to a joking Twitter post I put up that is kind of shaping out to be pretty accurate. I wouldn't say... I'm not going to confirm a release date. But I mean, I can say that you're going to have it in 2020? So I think some people have actually sent me that question as their live stream question, which was, will we get to play Chapter 4 in 2020? I can definitely tell you, yes, you will get to play Chapter 4 in 2020. I'm just not going to release point to the calendar and be like, yeah, it's this day, because that always bites me in the butt. So I'll let you, like I said, I'll let you know. You'll know way ahead of time that it's coming, but I'm not going to confirm any specific month or day. Another 2 from Jack the Trap Studios. Okay, this time he's instructing me. He said, just say Chapter 5 will be out in 2021. I guess you could technically say that if you wanted to as well, but I cannot confirm or deny that. So I'd just say, well, that sounds plausible. Maybe. Benjamin Hardy threw in $1.99. Thank you very much, Benjamin. Is uninvited guest the chase theme? Mama Bear level. Uninvited guest. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that is the chase thing. Yes, correct. Box in the Jack threw in Canadian 279. Thank you, Box in the Jack. And he asked, what does the Joy Joy gang think of each other? Well, they're a team, so they think enough of each other to continue working as a team. We'll put it that way. Tyler's Dash threw in $2. Thank you, Tyler. Why didn't its Showtime track loop in CC Boss? It's probably a bug experienced by some people, not everyone, where for some reason the track has a bug where it doesn't loop. It just plays through once and then stops. And that's probably something we'll go back and fix, of course. So you don't have to worry about that being a long-term problem. A lot of people have asked us about a lot of the minor bugs in chapters 2 and 3. And I tell them the same thing that I've told everybody, is that we will fix those. We will address them after Chapter 4. Some of them between Chapter 4 and 5. Some of them after Chapter 5 as a final kind of polish pass. And the whole reason that we don't address them earlier is because all the Chapter 4 stuff is already in the build. So if we push an update, it's going to have the Chapter 4 stuff included in the update, and then people are just going to rip it out and show it to everybody. So to keep Chapter 4 from being leaked, we are not updating Chapters 1, 2, and 3 until after it's out. So I hope that explanation kind of makes it clear why we haven't fixed some of those minor bugs. They will get addressed after. Okay, Talasco T Gamer. Nope, sorry. That's a membership thing. Okay, Error Sans threw in Canadian $1.39. Thank you, Error Sans. And he just put a sleeping face. I guess he's hitting the sack. So, thank you for the $1.39. We appreciate your help. Jacker Trap Studios is back. Said another $2. Thank you very much. Is Feel the Joy or Luck Runs Out the chase thing? I guess he's just going to work his way through each level for the chase thing. Feel the Joy. Well, you have to remember that each zone has its own music, so there's multiple chase themes. So you might be right on both of those. It could just be one of them. Jacker Trap Studios again threw in another 2. Will Malik appear in Mama Bear's portal entrance? That's a spoiler question, so I can't say yes or no. But I mean, Malik tends to appear in every level, so there's a good chance that he will be somewhere in the level. And another 2 from Jacker Trap. Jacker Trap's on a roll. Thank you for all these contributions. And you have a lot of questions, so that's good as well. Will the mannequins have a mall level? Yeah, I've already said the mannequins have a mall. Or they are the mall level. That's coming in Chapter 5. Putin Pravoslavny, sorry if I butcher that, threw in 100 rubles. Thank you, Putin. Hello, Mr. Livings. Quick question. So who's going to hate Bierce? Sorry, it's kind of clipping. Who's going to hate Bierce from the remaining nightmares like Agatha? Well, I mean, pretty much all of Malik's minions hate Bierce. Some of them are just very open in expressing that, and some of them just kind of internalize it. Agatha is a little bit more open with her feelings for certain reasons. But you'll probably hear a few others kind of voice their opinion on her in Chapter 4. Benjamin Hardy threw in $1.99. Is what lies beneath the introduction theme for Mama Bear's level? No. I can see you guys are trying to sort out where all the music plays. So what lies beneath is basically Zone 1 music. Next up is Scruffy Cat with £1. Thank you, Scruffy Cat. And that's just a donation. So thanks for your contribution. Scruffy Cat, oh, never mind, he followed it up with a question. And he threw in £5. So £6 total. Thank you very much. Will the Joy Joy gang have different kill animations when they have their metallic red eyes? Yeah, there will be a couple unique kill animations for when they are in their frenzy mode. So their animatronic form is basically their frenzy mode. Or, I guess, yeah, it's their frenzy mode. Aerosons is back again with another $1.39 Canadian, and this time he's got an awake face, so he's awake. Well, welcome back. And now we've got €2 from Kev WPL. Hey Vince, how's your day? And that's a contribution. Thanks, Kev. It's going great. It's 1 a.m. here. Well, almost 2 a.m. So I'm running on fumes, but it's fun doing live streams, so I'm doing awesome. Thanks for asking. Anti-Soviet behavior threw in HRK10. Is that like Hong Kong dollars? Or maybe I don't know. Sorry. How many shards in the hospital? How many shards are in the hospital level? Your guess is as good as mine. I would say, less than 1,000. We'll leave it at that. Hope that helps. Toxic Glitch Arda threw in $2.79 Canadian. Thank you, Toxic. Hi. They are Let's Get Ready, everyone. Okay, I guess it's just a statement of support. So thanks for your contribution. Appreciate it. Godstorm threw in $1.99. Hi, Vince. Will the crossover come to other platforms? The crossover. Not sure which one you're referencing, but yeah, they'll all come to other platforms. Monsters and Mortals is coming out for PC first, but we have plans to bring it to console if it's successful. We're not sure about mobile yet. Ayano's Lovesick's Labyrinth is also coming out for PC later, but we're definitely looking at console if it does well. It's kind of like a wait and see approach for each one. We're all starting on PC, but if it does well, we'll bring it to everything. And we're kind of planning for that. Okay, Pazcam threw in 1,000 HUF. I'm not sure what currency that is, sorry. Why does Beers not have the ring pieces already if there were people that made it in the 9th level? Does Beers lose the pieces when that person dies? Well, I won't give away too much, but just remember, not everyone faces the nightmares in the same order that Doug does. What's the 9th nightmare for Doug may be the first for somebody else. Super Mad Mime threw in €5. One question, if I got Dark Deception Complete Chapter 4, will it come automatically or I have to buy it? If you buy Dark Deception Complete, basically you have all the chapters. So you're basically pre-buying all 5 chapters, and typically you get it at a much better price, because that's usually what's on sale, and it's discounted extra. So yeah, right now you can only play 3 chapters, but you have all 5. So when chapters 4 and 5 release, it will automatically update your build, and you will automatically have those chapters. You don't have to go buy it again. The new threw in €2. Thank you very much. Will we have to fight Joykill in Zone 3? I can't really spoil what zone you fight Joykill, but you will fight him in the level. I can tell you that. I know that doesn't help much, but that's about what I can say. Godstorm threw in another 5. Thank you, Godstorm, for your multiple contributions. Can we... Okay, it's misworded a little bit. can we as every monster on every map in Monster... I think he means can we play as every monster on every map in Monsters and Mortals? And will there be skill and perks on, and how will zones work? So the zones are basically just maps, like maps in Dead by Daylight. And yes, you can play any monster on any map. They're not specific to each map. I mean, when we release guest DLC, they will come with their own customized map, but you can use their characters on any map. It's just, they go with that theme map because that matches with them from their guest DLC, just like Dead by Daylight does, and like Smash Brothers is kind of the same way. That's pretty typical. We're not doing a skill tree so much like Dead by Daylight did. This is more of like an arcade style kind of multiplayer experience. You'll see what I mean when we release our full trailer and you see more of the gameplay. But it's going to be a much faster pickup and more action-packed. A lot less slow, so it's going to be a more intense experience, I think, in my own opinion, because of that. And it's not something that's so complex that everyone can't get into it and understand it. Let me see, what else we have? Blood Violet, 2 and 5. Thank you, Blood Violet. What is the track Healing Hospital for? That is for the hospital. So that's for the hospital level. I can't tell you where it is in the hospital or what portion of the level it plays in. It's part of the hospital. Dekrin. Better Lian. $200.99. What is the name of the nurse's level? The nurse's level. Well, I mean, I've already shared the other two, so it'd be kind of weird if I don't share that one. It's Torment Therapy. So for those of you who are trying to figure it out, the name is Torment Therapy. It's not Healing Hospital to match the track. Or Healing Hospitality, that's what I mean. Let's see. Dominique Lamotte threw in £2. Thank you, Dominique. When is it said that the protagonist's name is Doug? I guess they're asking, like, so far. Well, I mean, it's been hinted at throughout the course of the game in some of the secret rooms. And also people kind of ripped out previous audio that revealed his name was Doug. So that's kind of how people know about that. But if you've gone through Chapter 3, it's in all of the documents that you find in the sewer and in the Crazy Carnival. Aerosons threw in another $6.99 Canadian. Thank you, Aerosons. How much time does Beers have before her soul belongs to Malik? With Beers, who knows? I mean, she's been stretching it out like Thanksgiving dinner forever. So, as long as she can keep using Doug to avoid her fate, I'd say she can keep buying herself a little time. We'll see how long that lasts in the next 2 chapters. Godstorm threw in another $1.99. Thank you, Godstorm, for the multiple contributions. Will there be any unique monster that's just for Monsters Immortal? Yeah, I'm already working on some exclusive Monsters Immortals Dark Deception monsters. So I think Monsters Immortals is a pretty cool place for me to try out new monsters for Dark Deception's universe outside of Dark Deception 1. Because the monsters for Dark Deception 1 are already set. There's not really any room for new monsters. All the levels are there. We've already designed all the enemies for Dark Deception. And we're not going to really... I don't think we're going to release like extra DLC. I mean, I'm saying that now, but I could be backtracking on that a year from now or 6 months from now. But the plan is to go straight from Dark Deception 1 into Dark Deception 2. And Monsters and Mortals is kind of where we can experiment and throw in some other lore and new characters to kind of test out. And, if any of them hit, they could wind up in one of the future Dark Deception sequels. So we'll see. Rooney Nico threw in £5. Thank you, Rooney. Will Malik gain new powers in Chapter 4 or 5? For example, teleportation. Malik, I mean, you haven't seen everything that Malik is capable of. Let's just put it that way. And you'll find out more in chapters 4 and 5. Gamer On threw in £2. Thank you, Gamer On. How do you escape the nurses since they are so fast? Run really fast and pray for the best. That's all I can say. And be very wise in the manner that you use your powers. I would say conserve your powers for the right moment. Fernando Miller, $2. Thank you. So what's the update for Dark Deception on mobile? Dark Deception on mobile, I'm not really going to announce anything until we have something that's like a big improvement on where it was previously. So we've been talking to other mobile developers about coming in and working with us to finish it up. And I've already gone through a few of them, and we're kind of still making a decision on which one to go with. It's not something that happens fast. So Dark Deception Mobile will still be finished up, and once it has some real progress and some real improvement over what I've shown previously, then I will share that with you all, and I will share it publicly on all of our social media. But I'm not going to talk about it before then, because that's just going to hype people up and set everybody up for disappointment if anything gets, if any setbacks are encountered. And there's always room for setbacks when you're in business and you're working with other teams. So once things are smooth and everything's stable and there's actual real progress being made, then I will start to share stuff about Dark Deception Mobile. Comaniac Plays threw in 5. Thank you very much. This may be a silly question. We'll see. But based on what is revealed about the nurses, will they function similarly to ninjas? Some elements of them, you could say, are a little bit ninja-ish. They are a bit acrobatic. We'll put it that way. So yeah, that's not actually that silly of a question. Marionetta 2004 threw in 5. Thank you, Marionetta. This is just a theory, but I think the boss nurse is going to have the same action as the nurse from Dead by Daylight. This is just a theory, I think. I can't really confirm or deny that, because I have to admit I've never used the nurse in Dead by Daylight. I just always stuck with Michael Myers. When I played through it, I just like him. So maybe I'll watch it later and see if you're on the dot, but I'm not going to acknowledge it publicly. But who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Blood Violet, doing another 5. Thank you, Blood Violet. It's for Mascot Mayhem. Is theme park very similar to Crazy Carnival as far as traps and level layout? No, it's very different. It's very, very different from Crazy Carnival. So Crazy Carnival was kind of a surreal obstacle course. And the theme park, or the Joy Joy Gang level, is more of an actual park environment. There's nothing surreal about it. You'll see once you play it. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. But yeah, they're very different. Godstorm, back again, threw in another $1.99. Doing awesome, man. Thank you. Are any zones in Mama Bear... Sorry, the wording's a little bit off. Let me interpret. Are any of the zones in Mama Bear's level a cabin or forest? That's spoiler territory, so I can't really say for sure. The kind of teaser video I showed a forest and a cabin, so there's a chance one of the zones involves a cabin or going into the forest. You just see only when Chapter 4 comes out. Rooney Nico is back with another £5. Thank you, Rooney Nico, for your multiple contributions. What is Lucky's speed when he's not using speed boost? Normal? I don't know. I guess you want to know if he's faster than the player, even at normal speed, and I would say no, he's not. So there you go. It's fair sometimes. But he has other tools at his disposal to kind of frustrate players. Remember, Lucky never loses. Godstorm 4435. Oh, is that the same? Yeah, sorry, I just never read your full name. It's another $1.99 from Godstorm. Do Reapers have a speed boost? No, they don't. So only Lucky has the speed boost. Andre Bodizan threw in another Ron 10. Thank you, Andre, for your multiple contributions. Will the hospital level include hallucinations? It will include something, but not hallucinations. So you will not be... It's not going to be like the asylum where you at some point you get drugged and everything becomes like is it real? Is it not real? Everything's like a trippy hallucination and they're trying to blend kind of like mental instability with the real world. No, it's not like that. We're pretty, what you see is what you get. It's just what you get is very unusual. You might wish you were hallucinating after you see some of it. Let's see, where was I at? Oh, it skipped ahead. Sorry, 1 second. YouTube always does this to me at some point. It suddenly jumps. A huge number of people. Okay. Oh, I'm back. Okay. Wow, it took longer than usual. That was a big jump. Victor the Demon Devil threw in £2. Alright, thank you, Victor. Appreciate it. I like Lucky, the Reapers, and Penny's voice. Oh, well, thanks. That's Christy Alex and Tara Strong. They're two of the most amazing voice actors I've had the pleasure of working with. I think I've been very blessed to work with all of Dark Deception's voice actors because they're all so talented. Really, all of them are probably some of the top voice actors in the industry, and they've done some amazing roles even outside of Dark Deception. And Chapter 5, you've got more coming, so it'll be cool to share those with you. Let's see. Audrius threw in £2. How's Chapter 4 so far? Still coming along. It's good. Yeah. That's all I can say. Sorry. Blood Violet threw in another 2. What are some of Hangry's special abilities? Well, I'm going to share some of them with you and the Hangry Rat. So I'm not going to spoil them now ahead of time. When the Hangry Rat comes out, you'll get a little bit of a look. Just like with Lucky, you'll see a little bit. Victor Toothy threw in DKK 45. Thank you, Victor. If I was going to make a game inspired by Dark Deception, would it be the same as copying it? Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be. Being inspired by something doesn't mean copying it. It means following it. Like maybe using the same game design, but giving it your own unique spin. I guess you could say Dark Deception is inspired by Pac-Man. We have a similar style of gameplay where you run around in mazes and collect objects like a pellet, but we've evolved it with our own features and gameplay as well. So to me, that's an example of being inspired by something versus if I took a game and stuck a big circular guy in it that eats little pellets and used the same sound effects and just called it something else. But it looks exactly like Pac-Man, and it has the same audio. That's more of a clone, or a copy. I think clones are good, copies are bad. Some of the best games are clones of other games. Like, look at all the clones in the first-person shooter category that Doom has inspired. They're all first-person view, they're all shooting, so you could say that they're all Doom clones, but, first person has been around so long, we've moved beyond that definition of first person games. So yeah, feel free to be inspired. Do your own thing. MMG Rhythm Games threw in Hong Kong 10. Thank you, Rhythm. Biggest gameplay difference in each of Chapter 4's levels. I'm trying to think what I can tell you there. Well, I mean, hospital. It's kind of now you see me, now you don't. Don't trust your eyes. Theme park. There's multiple threats. I guess you could say the same thing about Mama Bear's level. That's really all I can say. So yeah, I hope that's enough. Drippies, through in 5. Thank you, Drippies. I feel like, oh wow, we're already over. Well, no, we're not over an hour because I wasted 10 minutes. This is going to be like another super chat run. I just hope that you and the dev team are doing okay. Thanks for everything, Vince. Sleep for Vince. Oh man, I need to get more sleep. Yeah, probably like, I'm doing my best not to look super tired tonight. I probably still look super tired, but I'm doing my best. I'm running on fumes right now. But I appreciate the support. Thank you for the 5, Drippies. Logan Burnside and FNAF Game, through in 2. Glowstick Vince, Minecraft, Bedrock Edition, PS4. I'd like to see it. Go for it. You want to make it? I'll play it. Blood Violet, threw in another 5. Thank you, Blood Violet. Hitting us with multiple contributions tonight. This is the doll-head version of Trigger Teddy, their frenzy form, after they get hit by Primal Fear or neither. Well, I will tell you that it is their frenzy form. I won't say what triggers it or when, but yes, that is their frenzy form. District D threw in 40 rubles. Thank you, District. Will your team participate in the Ingromere event? Maybe? I don't know what that is. I can look it up later, but just off the top of my head now, I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's something that we can participate in even with the pandemic. I'll check it out. Drippies threw in a 5. Thank you, Drippies. That's another contribution. I don't want to bug you with questions, so this is purely for support. Sleep for the dev team. Awesome. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. And like I said, every little bit helps. So we appreciate the multiple contributions. Jacko Trap Studios threw in 2. Trigger Teddies with Dollface. Is that frenzy mode? Well, you're in luck. I just answered that. And your answer is yes. Kitty Future threw in another $2.99. Or threw in $2.99. Will the nurses flirt as a way to taunt the player? Yeah, a little bit. You'll see. The nurses, just like the Gold Watchers, represent something. The nurses represent something as well. And you'll see what that is in Chapter 4. So anything that they do is kind of in the nature of what they represent. Let's see. Lisa Loves Art, $5. Will there be skins, costumes for monsters and mortals? Yeah, we are actually looking at... We're going to have skins. I can't say that we're going to have them at launch. The way it's probably going to work is that we get... in order for us to get this out by the release date, we just want to get it out, and it works, and it plays really well. It has all the characters that it needs to have, just to get off the ground. And from there, each month we're going to add stuff, and we're just going to keep adding stuff, and it will eventually become something much bigger. So yeah, costumes are part of that. We have some really cool ones planned for each of the characters. And we've talked to some of our partners as well, and they're going to allow us to do some cool skins for some of the guest DLC as well. So even if they don't go out with the skins in the guest DLC right away, they will get added in, and everyone who bought it will get the update for free. We will not charge separately for those skins, unless the partner forces us to, and then we will kind of make that known in advance and let you know it's because the partner wants us to charge for the skins. But right now, nobody has really thrown that at me or demanded that, so we're in a good place with that. Fox's Dreamland threw in $5. Thank you, Fox. Could you make these live streams podcasts? I could, yeah. I can easily just take the audio and make these all into a series of podcasts. Where would you guys want me to put them up? That's the question. I don't really know where people go to mainly listen to podcasts. Most of the time, I just listen to live streams on YouTube, or I go to Twitch and listen to just chatting. I'm actually planning to do some just chatting stuff at some point. But yeah, I mean, I'll check where the best place to put up some podcasts are, and maybe we can get those up at some point. Blood Violet threw in another 5. Can we use telepathy to detect rape or nurses when they turn invisible? Maybe. You'll see when we play. I can't reveal anything too much about gameplay at this point. UBF 13 threw in 299. How big are the pills in the hospital level? I guess you're talking about the pills that the nurses throw. I don't know how to say exactly the size relation to the player. I mean, look at like the size of the pill like Dr. Mario holds. I guess you could say it's similar. Ghostly Gang 95 threw in $1.99. Thank you, Ghostly Gang. What does the Joy Joy Gang think of Joykill? Well, I mean, he's part of their team, so they like him enough to keep that going. That's about all I can say right now. You'll see more. Again, it's kind of like a broken record, but you'll see more when Chapter 4 comes out, right? Blood Violet. Whoa, did it just do it again? Sorry, it did another jump. 1 second. I think that happens when multiple super chats come in at the same time. Okay, Blood Violet, $5. Thank you again, Blood Violet. Are Joy Joy Gang and Joykill the only enemies in Mascot Mayhem? Yes, they are the only enemies in Mascot Mayhem. Light Deception threw in $1.99. Will Dark Deception be on PSVR or Quest? Yeah, so Dark Deception is coming to VR. Definitely to Vive and Oculus Rift. PSVR, I have to kind of see what Sony's going to do with that now that PS5 is coming. If they keep supporting it, I mean, they should support it. It matches the system. It's like the same colors, right? But for some reason they bail on their support of PS5, then that might kind of make it difficult for us to port to that. I'm hoping they don't. I'm hoping they make it compatible between the two systems, and then we can make a PSVR version. But if not, we'd have to see how much people really want it. I mean, if there's enough fan demand for it, then we'll definitely do it. But as for now, I would just say Oculus Rift and Vive are the ones that we're definitely going to make. So yeah, I guess you could say Quest is part of that. Gamer On threw in £2. Thank you, Gamer. How is Mama Bear a threat as she's slow? Is a power used? Well, I don't want to reveal anything about Mama Bear's powers or how she uses them at this point. So you'll see when you play the game, but it'll make sense why she's slow. It's kind of a counterbalance to the way the Trigger Teddies attack, which you'll also see when the game comes out. Luis Carpin... Man, I'm butchering everybody's names tonight. Carpintero. I think that's how it says. Threw in 99 cents. Thank you for your support, Luis. Appreciate it. Kev WPL threw in another £2 or €2. Have you considered playing fan games on stream? Actually, that's not a bad idea. I would do that. Like, I could do a stream where I play some of my favorite Dark Deception fan games. So, yeah, maybe before Halloween I'll do something like that where I play all the Dark Deception fan games that are the most popular, or they have the best, have like they offer something really cool, some really cool concept, or it's the most popular with our fan base. We'll see. But yeah, at some point I would like to do that. Claudius Maximus threw in $5. Notice the little stick cemetery in the video teaser. Might we have to worry about teddies popping up from the graves, or is it just their victims? I would say that the little grave the little grave markers that you see in the teaser video do have kind of a purpose or backstory in that level that kind of makes sense once you know more about it. I can't say if like they contribute to the gameplay at all or anything, but you'll see pretty soon what their significance is. Rooney Nico threw in another £2. What is your favorite video game? Personally, I'd say I have 2 video games that I feel kind of impacted me the most growing up. And I think the first one is Final Fantasy VII, just because that was the first game that really showed like how to have an emotional impact in a game. Before that, I'd never really felt any kind of emotional impact in a game. That was the first one that kind of impacted me emotionally for a character in a video game. And then after that, as far as horror goes, Dead Space 1. And that was probably my favorite horror game for a long time. Just because I loved sci-fi horror, like The Thing, Aliens. You could even throw Terminator 2 into that mix. Like all of those classic sci-fi horror movies. And that just kind of tapped right into all of them. So it was like a really cool, amazing game for me. And it had a great story. And it really delivered the feeling of isolation. And that was in itself like a feeling of dread and horror, was the feeling that you're on your own. And they just threw everything at you right away. So that game really impressed the heck out of me the first time I played it. And none of the other Dead Space has ever kind of hit me the same way that the first one did. Okay, Aerosons, Canadian 279, thank you. Is Doug alive or dead? It'd be a spoiler if I answered it, but I guess you'll see once Chapter 4 comes out. Jacko Trap Studios threw in 2. Is there... Oh, thank you for another contribution. Is there a Papa Bear of some kind? No, there is not a Papa Bear. I can kind of put that one to rest right away. Jose Fuentes. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Kamaniac Plays, $5. Thank you very much, Kamaniac. That's 2 contributions from you. If reveal trailers are done with Monsters and Mortals, will they be similar to Smash reveals or Dead by Daylight reveals? I think maybe early on they might be, but eventually we want to kind of set up our own thing. As we kind of get more comfortable with it and get a better feel for the game's identity, we'll kind of reveal our characters in our own special way. But initially, yeah, we'll just kind of follow what people already know and what works. Mr. Saturn threw in another 5. Thank you, Mr. Saturn. To see if I'm correct, is the circus a way that some mortals see religion as a sort of circus filled with clowns? The secret room seemed to hint that. Well, everybody... that's the beauty of these nightmares, is that I think it has a different meaning for everybody on how you interpret it and its meaning. So I don't want to, tell people that any way that they've interpreted it is wrong, because that is the nature of the nightmares, is that it taps into the darkness in people in a specific area. So that can have many meanings. I presented one meaning, or a form of the meaning, for Doug in his case and how it applies to him. But how you interpret it is equally valid, I think, if it makes sense within the context of that level. So yeah, I'm not going to confirm or deny that, but take from it what you will. It can have multiple meanings. Remember that nightmare is something different to everybody. It's not the same nightmare to everybody. Jonas Fisher. What animal will Joykill be? Well, I can't reveal anything about Joykill. So yeah, I can't really answer that one. Sorry, but I appreciate the donation of £2. We appreciate it, the support. Pazcam threw in HUF 400. One of the Joy reveal videos almost hit 2 million. Oh yeah, that's actually true. So I think the original trailer, the one we put up first about 11 months ago, I think. Yeah, that's almost at 2 million. So that's really awesome. I'm glad that we have so many people supporting the video and watching it. And that's amazing that it's reached so many views. I never thought it will get that many views when we put it up. Andre Bodazan threw in another 25. Arwen, Ron. Thanks again. That's like multiple contributions from you. So each member of the Joy gang has multiple abilities, meaning that Lucky has more than just speed boost. No, I mean the Joy gang, they each have one specific ability that's kind of like their power for the level. And they have different kills, like the way they kill the player, different kill animations that are unique to each one of them. So I can tell you that much. Oops, we got another jump. Oh, okay. Box in the Jack threw in 279 Canadian. Who was Dolly? Okay, so that's in reference to the Bierce Cut Lines video that we threw up about a week ago. Dolly was... I actually forgot about Dolly. Dolly was an old character. So the way it worked was when we went to record with Carolyn Seymour the first time for Bierce, a lot of our game wasn't fully designed out, and we had just a script. This is way, way back in 2014, like around the same time that we released the first demo with the hotel. And a lot of it was just script. It was written out. There was no, art for it or models or anything like that. And because we have to fill 4 hours of recording time with Carolyn, that's part of the union agreement with these voice actors, we didn't have 4 hours of material for her to record for Bierce. So we threw in kind of like the end of the script, thinking that it was probably going to stay the same, and had her record for characters that we hadn't even designed out yet. And Dolly was one of those. And Dolly was actually separate from Agatha. A lot of people have kind of theorized that Dolly was Agatha initially, and then she became Agatha. But Dolly was actually going to be a separate character that was actually kind of like Annabelle. It was actually a doll. But yeah, that never happened. And that character was scrapped, and they never even got off the script. So I didn't even remember we had that line until I was looking through it for cut lines. And then that popped up. Blood Violet threw in another 5. Thank you, Blood Violet. Can trigger teddies do more than just chase you and beat you up like clown gremlins? Yes, they do have an ability. I won't tell you what the ability is. Actually, they have 2 abilities. But you'll see in the gameplay. Drippy is threw in $1.99. Tired, yes. Thank you for the extra contribution. Dylan Spyword threw in $1.99. How is the Hangry Rap going so far? It's actually almost done. So it's coming very soon. We still have to record out with Chris J. Alex, but most of the lyrics are written. So we've already got the instrumentals, we've got the lyrics, and we're just going through the recording phase. So whenever that's done, I will put up the premiere countdown, and then we can check that one off. Victor the Demon Devil threw in £5. Thank you, Victor, for your multiple contributions. What will the Reaper's Frenzy look like? If you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I mean, it's just going to be a variation of their normal costume, just like the other characters. I can't say exactly what that will look like, but it'll be a variation. If you're wondering if the mask will come off, no, it won't. What's up? Threw in $4.99. Thank you, Watts. Since Doug is collecting soul shards of previous victims, what was the first person who died in that level doing there? Locating the ring and leaving? Well, I mean, Bierce has a long history of using people. So you'll find out a little more in Chapter 4. We're not going to specifically, establish a history of victims, because that would be incredibly long and kind of kill the mystery of the thing. But you will definitely hear a little bit more about some of Bierce's past actions in the ballroom. Theo TM threw in R20. I think that's Raul's. Or Real, sorry, Brazilian Real. The chorus of Mind Your Manners, what are they saying? I don't know. I've never asked Dan what they're actually saying. I assume it's something in Latin. The Odd Penguin threw in $2. Thank you, Odd Penguin. From 0% to 100%, how complete is Chapter 4? Let's go with 0%. We have a lot to do. So I'll let you know when it's done. Don't worry, it's coming. I can't give you a percentage or a release date. Blood Violet threw in 5. Again, thank you, Blood Violet. You're just killing it today. Final question. Will Doug be able to get on rides when we play Mascot Mayhem? And how tall is Mama Bear compared to Doug? Mama Bear is much taller than Doug. She's probably the tallest enemy in the game. And rides. No, there's no rides in the theme park. There's definitely a ride of some kind, but it's not the type that Doug will enjoy. Ghostly Gang, $200.99. Is Monsters Immortals going to cross over with FNAF? Not at the moment, no. I won't say never. I mean, but that's completely up to Scott Cawthon if we ever do that. I'm open to any crossover. So, but at the moment, no, there's no plans for a FNAF crossover. MMG Rhythm Games through Hong Kong 10. Sorry, it jumped again. Do we get defects? Example, limited sight. I'm MMG, by the way. Oh, I know, I got your name. I'm not sure what you mean, though. Do we get defects? Example, limited sight. I can't answer because I'm not sure what you're asking for. But thank you for the contribution. I appreciate it. Louis Carpintero threw in another $1.99. Will Dark Deception come to PS5 and Xbox Series X? I think you mean the... Well, yeah, that's the Pro version. There's no plans for PS5 right now, but I mean, yeah, we're definitely looking at it. In all the current consoles, we're definitely going to. So, yeah. Let's see. Nitro D's threw in HUF 1000. Would the team be interested in a Has-Been Hotel crossover? Also, when the Joy Joy Gang talks to each other, what are they going to talk about? When they talk to each other, mainly they're just kind of giving each other orders. So Lucky kind of bosses the other two around. And they kind of communicate with each other to find Doug. And as far as the Has-Been Hotel crossover, like I said, we're open to any crossover as long as it's a fit with the game and the other side is willing. So we don't have anything at the moment, but that doesn't mean that we never will. So you might be surprised at some point. We'll see. Pretzel Boy Productions threw in Canadian $2.79. How tall is Joykill, and who is he voiced by? Joykill is... I can't say anything about his height, but he's also voiced by... Pretty much all of Joy Joy Gang is done by Chris J. Alex, except for Penny, which is done by Tara Strong. Bernie Nico threw in £2. Are the cut lines from Chapter 4? No, those Bierce cut lines are from way back, 2014, like before the new Dark Deception was even made. That's all from the old Dark Deception, the legacy Dark Deception from, 6 years ago. That Dark Deception's pretty much dead. So that was even before the Kickstarter that failed. So that is like the earliest example of stuff from Dark Deception. Core threw in 10 real. Thank you, Core. Cheers from Brazil. We love Dark Deception, and we are hyped for Chapter 4. Thank you for your amazing game. Yeah, we get a lot of support from Brazil. I'm really impressed with the community there. Cheers to you guys, too. I'm happy to have fans all over the world, but it's great to have fans in Brazil. Let's see. This one I can't read because it's in Russian, but it threw in 100 rubles. Thank you very much. It says, "Hi, Vince. I'm very interested in when there will be a rap about Hangry." Just to go back, yeah, the Hangry rap is getting close to finished, so you'll get to hear it very soon. Don't worry. The Nichi Kaze girl threw in $1. Actually, it looks like there was something retracted, so you might have been double charged. I don't know if you intended to do that, but it rang you twice. So you either threw in $1 or you threw in $2, but either way, thank you very much. And there's no message, so it's just support. UBF13 threw in $4.99. Have you seen the fan-made Reaper Nurse portal icons, and are they any closer to the new Nurse portal icon? I can't really comment on that because no, I haven't seen them. The new Nurse portal icon is just based on the Reaper Nurse. It's not based on the Matron like the old one. Let me see. Animated Terror threw in $4.99. Hey, I don't know if this has been asked yet, but will there be an all monsters mode where there's like one of each monster in a maze? I guess you're talking about Monsters and Mortals. So yeah, there is an all monsters mode, and it's called Monsters Royale. So that will basically be monsters only mode. So every player will get to play as a monster. Mr. Saturn threw in another 5. Was there any non-horror game you would be interested in bringing into a crossover and making it a horror game? Yeah. Actually, we've already been talking to a couple about bringing something kind of non-horror in and making it horror. I can't share what that is right now because we're under NDA for it, but maybe soon I'll be able to announce it. Something to look forward to. Indecisive X69 threw in 2, but retracted the message. So thank you for your support. And before it goes any further, we've reached the end of the super chats. Finally. So we're going to do the subscriber questions now. I think this is going to be like last stream that ran 2 hours because we're in an hour and a half, and we're going to go into the subscriber questions now. I think we can hit this in 2 hours again. So, without further ado, subscriber questions. So thank you to everybody that sent in your question via email. Once again, we have a massive pile of them, so it was really hard to choose through them. And I'm afraid that maybe with the super chats, we've answered some of the questions that I saw chosen. I will just kind of rehash if we run into any of those. And then again, if your question wasn't chosen, it's not intentional. We don't hate you. We just had a lot of other questions that were also good, and we chose those. Maybe next time we'll choose yours. Don't give up. Just keep sending it in. And you don't have to send it 1,000 times. Just send it once. We see them all. Don't worry. So question number 1 from subscribers. This is from Zachary. Will Hangry's ability be revealed in his rap video? And your luck. That's what I kind of pointed to. Yes, we will give a glimpse of some of Hangry's ability. Question number 2 from Rail Fanner Sonic. Will the price for console Dark Deception be more than, less than, or the same as its PC version? That's a good question, actually. I'm sure you guys have seen, like on the Switch, for some reason, all the prices are jacked up. Like if you look at something like Hello Neighbor, it's really cheap on PC, and then you go to Switch, and it's like $40, or $30 or something, which makes no sense to me. And then you go to PlayStation 4, and now it's $20. I don't know if that's because of royalties, or they just think like maybe their fan base will pay more on Switch. But I do see like pricing variations between the different consoles. I'm happy to say we are not going to do that. Our price on console will be the same on every console. So if you get it on Switch, we're not going to gouge Switch players. We're not going to gouge Xbox One or PS4 players. It's going to be the same price on each one. And it's going to be the same price as it was on PC. before PC started getting the discounts. So it'll be $19.99 for the console versions for the complete game of Dark Deception. So you could say it's similar to the price, same price as Cuphead. Question number 3 from Yoshi Kid. Will you make the Joy Joy Land logo, both normal and scary version, into posters that we can buy in the store? Well, maybe now I will. I wasn't aware that anybody wanted it, so since you spoke up, I'll think about it. Yeah, we could definitely easily add that in if people want posters of the Joy Joy Land logo. That's pretty easy to do. So if you agree with him and you want it, just do a little shout out in the live chat, and I'll look at it later and see how much interest we have. Question number 4 from Lovely Bunny. Did you find another partner to work on Didi Mobile? So, hi Vince. Hey, thanks for the question. Unfortunately, we had that one earlier, so I've kind of already answered it. But yeah, we found a few potential partners. We're working through it, and we're going to make the best decision for the game and for ourselves. And once we have something that's finalized and we have a good amount of progress to show, then I'll kind of share that publicly with everybody. Tamaz, will Monsters and Mortals... Sorry, question number 5. Tamaz, will Monsters and Mortals come out in chapters? No, it's going to be a complete game. No chapters. In fact, I can safely say, after Dark Deception, we will never do chapters again. That was kind of a necessity for Dark Deception 1, because we didn't have the funding to wait and finish the whole game all at once and then release it. And I think in the future we want to do it normally. Like we develop the entire game, we put the whole game out, there's no waiting for chapters. So this will be a one-time pain point for the Dark Deception franchise. Dark Deception 2, whatever number of sequels we do after that, they will all be done and shipped complete. And anything that comes after will be DLC. But not chapter DLC. It'll actually be, more of like traditional DLC. An expansion pack. Question number 6 from Mokwee. Will any of the bosses have voices and personalities? Yeah. So, Chapter 4 is very heavy on voice acting. So, pretty much all 3 bosses will have personalities and voices. Question number 7 from Giovanni. How much will the Dread Ducky plushie cost? And will fans be able to find the Dread Ducky plushie in stores like Target, Walmart, and GameStop? If you've been checking our social media recently, I shared some of the prototype images for our Dread Ducky plushie. And that's not final. Those pictures are not the final product. There's still some little small problems with them. Like some people pointed out, the hinge doesn't go all the way up to his lower jaw. So yeah, there's still some fixes that will be made. So it's not the perfect final form of him, but it's pretty close. And yeah, when we put it out, that's our partnership with Makeship. And Makeship prices all of their plushies at $24.99 US. It's sold exclusively online, and it's a one-time run of the plushie. And what that means is the way Makeship works is they will do one run of the plushie, which is they produce it one time, and then they never produce it again. So that design is only produced once, which makes it really cool because then it's actually like a rare collectible item. So that design of that Dread Ducky's design will never be made again after this. We may do other Dread Ducky plushies, but they will all look different. They will never look like that again. And each one actually comes with a numbered certificate to let you know what number of the batch you are. And that to me is pretty cool. And it gives a kind of like it makes you feel kind of special for having one of those, because there's only a set number of them in the world, and they're never being made again. They're not being brought back. And after the Dread Ducky, we're going to put out the Joy Joy Gang. And I think for the Joy Joy Gang, they're going to sell them 25 individually. I'm trying to talk them into doing a bundle so that anyone that wants to buy all 3 can have a discount on all 3. But I'll have more on that after the Dread Ducky. So the Dread Ducky, right now, we're actually targeting the end of July to actually start the campaign for that. So it's been going really well. So they've told me, and this is not set in stone, they've told me that July 31st we could start the campaign. And basically the way that campaign works is we have 30 days. It's either 30 days or 25 days. I think it's 25 maybe. But you have a set amount of time to sell 400 units. So we have to sell 400 units. And if we sell 400 units, then it gets made. And everybody gets their Ducky and the money is kept. If we don't get 400 units, they return the money to everybody and the Ducky does not get made. So this is kind of where we are going to test our fan base. They've been asking us for a long time for plushies for the Dark Deception characters. This is kind of a prove it moment. If you guys want us to keep making more characters, we will do the entire Dark Deception cast. Every character, including bosses, will get their own plushie. As long as there is enough interest to always get 400 units of each character that we put out. It will just keep going. We'll go through all of them. That is my promise. If you guys support it, we will do it. So yeah, that's everything I have about the plushies. So you guys can fully understand what's going on with that. And I'll be advertising that, in a couple weeks, probably. Question number 8. Oh, sorry, I missed one thing. As for the Target, Walmart, and GameStop, initially it's online only. We're talking about that, but that will be down the road. Question number 8, District D. Will your team participate in the Ingro Mirror? Oh, okay. I think he asked that as a super chat as well. Maybe he didn't know his question actually got chosen. But will your team participate in the Ingro Mirror Comic-Con Russia online event? Okay, so it's a Comic-Con in Russia, and it's online. Yeah, I can look into it. If it's online, I don't see any reason why we couldn't do it unless they try to ask for a lot of money, and then we wouldn't do it just because of that. But if it's reasonable and it's a good way for us to kind of connect with our Russian community, then yeah, I'm fully on board with that. I don't speak any Russian though, so I hope the communication is not a problem. We'll see. Labster Dabster, number 9. What do you think about the people who animate Dark Deception and SFM? What do you think about the people who use SFM to make Dark Deception fan animations? I will admit, I haven't seen a whole lot of SFM Dark Deception animations, which is, could be I just haven't searched right for them, or there just aren't enough of them, which is a shame, because I've seen some really good ones. I would say the one series I have seen that kind of impressed me was, I think he had a different name previously, but I think now he goes by Smoke Bear. He did a bunch of Dark Deception verses, FNAF and Baldi and different things, and I thought those were really cool. I always like to see crossovers, so I mean, if anybody wants to make Dark Deception SFM videos, I'm fully on board with that. I support that. I think that opens Dark Deception up to a lot of other people, and it's just fun to watch what other people kind of imagine for Dark Deception characters. As long as it's not anything hateful or racist or, crappy stuff like that, I'm fully on board with it. Number 10 from Castform TV. Just wondering if you had plans to make the bosses into plushies. Oh, yeah. And I kind of tapped on that previously in the last couple questions back. Yeah, I mean, if we have enough support, I'll do all the characters, including bosses. So, yeah, if you want that Doom Ducky plushie, just hope that we get enough support for Dread Ducky. Question number 11. Mike. Are the Reaper nurses inspired by Harley Quinn? No, not directly. I mean, that's just kind of an indirect result of using Tara Strong. Her voice always sounds like Harley Quinn. I think it's just kind of baked in. I mean, she can do any voice, but we kind of directed her to use a certain accent in dialect, and that just kind of naturally brought out the Harley Quinn in her, I think. So a lot of people heard Twilight Sparkles when they listened to her, and a lot of people hear Harley Quinn. So it's just kind of, what do you hear when you hear Penny's voice? All of them are valid. Number 12 from Joe Young. This is kind of a cool question. After UE5 comes out, are you guys switching to it or sticking to UE4? Are any of your current games being converted to Unreal Engine 5? Yes, I am fully on board with Unreal Engine 5. That is my dream engine. No limitations. Been waiting for that my whole life. So yeah, I'm fully on board with UE5 when it comes out. Unfortunately, it's not available to small little devs like us. Oh. But yeah, it's out in the hands of guys like mostly AAA large studios. There's a couple small studios that have it, but they're run by AAA guys that have connections to the people at the top. So it's a very, very small circle that has UE5 right now. And they're already developing games to be launch titles for PS5. We're not developing any launch titles for PS5. So they're going to make it available to all indie devs and all developers in probably late 2021. That's kind of the word that's out there right now. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but that sounds typical. UE4 was in testing for about a year before they made it available to everybody. So it makes sense they'd do that for UE5 as well. Question number 13 from Luis Angel. Would a crossover with Silent Hill be possible? Silent Hill, that's interesting. Maybe. Like I said, we can do anything. If the other side is willing, I guess we'd have to go knock on Konami's door and see if they want to let us use Silent Hill. I know Dead by Daylight pulled it off, so I guess anything's possible. Maybe it costs a lot of money, though. We'll see. Question number 14 from Ladal Doll. What kind of power does Mama Bear have? A secret one that you will see when Chapter 4 goes out. That's all I can say. Number 15, Cheesy Mud. In Dark Deception Mobile, what will be your minimum requirements? Because right now I own a Huawei Y7 Prime 2019, and I want to see if I can play Didi on my phone. I can't really speak for what the final Dark Deception Mobile minimum system requirements will be. I do know what it was kind of for the Broken Circle build, and I would say probably your phone needs to be above like the 7th generation. That means like iPhone 7, Galaxy S7. 6 there was a big hardware jump between 6th and 7th generation. And the 6 phones are just too weak. The CPUs I think they have less than a gigabyte of RAM. It's just too weak to run Unreal. Unreal has demands. It has requirements. And if you're going to run an Unreal game that's not fully optimized internally by something like Fortnite, and it's also stylized, if you're going to run a realistic Unreal Engine game, it's going to require a little bit of beef in the CPU and GPU, even on phones. And even with that, it will still, all of the Unreal games run a little bit hot on your phone. So I don't know how long you'll want to play it like unplugged. You might want to play it, you could probably play it for a while, like a couple hours. But you're not going to be able to play it for like 4 or 6 hours or anything like that. It'll chew through your battery. Let's see. So yeah, I don't know if it'll run on a Huawei Y7 Prime. Not sure which generation that is. You said it's from 2019, so probably a good chance it will, if it's got decent specs. Number 16 from Mayman. Will the mannequins be known for their speed or their power? Their speed. So mannequins are the fastest enemies in the game. Number 17, Amos the Dude. Will Mama Bear have a creepy body inside her too, like the Trigger Teddies? Well, Mama Bear is, the mother of the Trigger Teddies, so you could reason that she might be similar. Number 18, from Nicola. Regarding the Bierce Cut Lines video, what was in your mind when you wanted to put Prison Bee for Bierce? I don't know if any of you have listened to the Bierce Cut Lines video, but Bierce does drop a swear word in one of the lines. And it is in reference to kind of prison culture. You could put it that way as a euphemism. That was completely... Well, actually, no. That was a joke line that we kind of threw in for the recording that we weren't really intending to use, and then Carolyn just kind of ran with it. And we thought we had a laugh. It was hilarious in the studio when she did that line. And she enjoyed it too. So, Yeah, we were never intending to use that. That was kind of like a time filler just for fun, for these kind of like blooper videos later. Number 19, Vinny Lab. Will the Hangry and Penny Raps also be made by Rocket Gaming? Yes. So we are working with Rocket Gaming on all three. And they are writing the lyrics for all of the raps. And they're doing the kind of the final editing as well. Number 20, from Delaney Chester. If you were given an opportunity to collaborate with anyone in the fan community that works with crafts and/or cosplays, who would you pick and why? Oh, interesting question. I'll admit that I've seen so many kind of awesome works from the community, both crafts and cosplay, that it's really hard to pick just one person or one thing, because there's so many of them that I think are very strong, and they're from all countries. I've seen some really great stuff from Japan, from the US, from Europe, from China. Like, I see great stuff from China quite a bit. I think the one that immediately jumps to me is just because it's a hole in our production right now, is a guy named Giovi Hobby. He makes these little sculptures, and he did like the entire Dark Deception cast from chapters 1 through 5, and they actually looked really good. And I wish that they were on my desk. So I would probably, if we were going to design a toy or something, and we were going to work with one of our fans, like I would go to him and ask him to do like a Dark Deception toy, because he's pretty good at it. If you haven't checked out his channel on YouTube, go ahead and check it out. The guy's pretty good. Number 21, Adrian. Will Mama Bear have facial expressions, or will she remain emotionless? She does have some expressions, but Mama Bear. I kind of goes. I don't know how to explain it without spoiling anything, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Yes, she does have some expressions. It's not what you're expecting, though. Number 22, from Ronix. Who will be the voice actor for Joykill? Actually, I already covered that one, so Chris J. Alex. Rye Guy Love. Will Monsters and Mortals have Steam achievements? Yes, they will. And it will have... Actually, no, they did away with that. I was going to say it would have trading cards, but I think Steam kind of cut that. I don't see any new games with trading cards. I haven't looked for the official line on that, but I'm pretty sure. But yeah, achievements are definitely there. 24, from Real Skeppy. Will any of the Joy Joy gang members rap play during Mascot Mayhem? Yeah, we're looking for ways we can actually include those in the game. So we'll see where we can fit it in, but we'll definitely do our best. Number 25, from Mr. Mister. Have you ever thought about or even considered putting a gallery where we can view all of the monsters, bosses, and all of their descriptions, maybe even traps? That would be the viewer. So the model viewer that I was talking about on the first question of this live stream, that's what that will be. So yes, we've considered it. Question number 26, from Angelo Plays. In Monsters and Mortals, will there be a randomly generated maze layout similar to the one that was originally planned to happen in Stranger Sewers? Actually, that was originally planned for the entire game, was to have procedural mazes. But we just didn't do it that way. So no, we're not going to do procedural maps. It's going to be a set map, because that just kind of works better for multiplayer, that things don't keep changing. That can just lead to a lot of unexpected bugs. Question number 27, from JM Death Punch. Is the theme park teasers and Lucky's run animation we saw in Bad Rabbit, is that a work in progress, or was it finished progress? Everything in that video was pre-alpha, so that was all a work in progress. Number 28, Charlie M. Do you think that 2020 is still possible for Chapter 5, or is it impossible? I would say it's possible. 2021 is also possible. We'll see how it shakes out. Obviously, 2020 is full of a lot of factors that are outside of my scope of control. I'm just kind of rolling with it and making the best of it. So we'll see how it shakes out at the end. Question number 29 from Rosetto. And this is the last subscriber question. Who is your favorite Chapter 4 character? I don't know. I guess that'd be a tie between... it's hard to pick. I mean, I guess I'd go with Mama Bear or Joykill. Yeah. But I mean, I could easily say Lucky as well. So yeah, that's it. Subscriber questions are a wrap. And we're still under 2 hours. So I'm just going to go back to the super chats, see if we have any last ones. And that will be it. And we have a few more. So yeah, let me hit these before we call it a night or a day. So we've got Rooney Nico threw in another 2 pounds. Who is the shortest enemy? That would be probably the Trigger Teddies. Ghostly Gang 95 threw in $1.99 just to support us. Thank you, Ghostly 99. Or sorry, Ghostly Gang 95. UBF 13 threw in $3.99. Was there any speaking lines for the Grim Clowns? No. The Grim Clowns were never intended to speak because they're gremlins, so we always felt like they should just make ridiculous noises. Mr. Saturn threw in another 5. Thank you very much. Just a donation for such a great live stream. Thanks for all you guys do. Well, thank you for supporting us all this time. We appreciate it. That allows us to keep doing what we do, is having fans that support us and care about what we're doing. Otherwise, nothing would get done. We'd just be a ship adrift in the ocean. So just remember that you guys are our lifeblood, and we can't do this without you guys. So we appreciate that you guys come out for everything we do. That means a lot. Dylan Spyword threw in $1.99. Is Penny the Panda going to be in the art section? I mean, I've shown her enough. She's not part of the game. I want to keep the art specifically to what's actually in the game for the fan gallery. Now, if we ever do an art book, which I really want to do, then we could easily throw in those cut characters into that. Hunter Brown Lee threw in $4.99. Which character did you die to the most during the playtest of the Mama Bear level? That'd be the Trigger Teddies. And Saras threw in $4.99. Are the nightmares enemies unique to Doug, or do they appear as they are to every victim who have visited there previously? I would say that the nightmares are not all unique to Doug. That's all I can say right now. But yeah, he's not that realm's only visitor, as the soul shards kind of hint at. So that's it. Super chats are done. And that's a wrap for this live stream. So thank you guys for sticking with me for 2 hours. Our last 2 live streams have run kind of long just because of the overwhelming support we're getting on Super Chat. That's not something I'm going to complain about. I love that you guys care enough to support us that, it takes me 2 hours to get through them. That's time well spent in my book. I'm happy to go through all of that for as long as it takes, if you guys are out here for us. So that's a wrap for this time. I'll see you guys next time. And once again, thanks for coming out. And I'm excited to show you some of the stuff that's coming down the road. We've got some big secrets that I'm not allowed to share yet. And we've got some stuff that you're expecting that I'll be sharing soon. And some stuff I know you want, but I can't tell you when it's coming. But you'll also be getting it fairly soon. So take that as you will. But peace out to all of you. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.